Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. Are you an author, speaker, coach, or entrepreneur building a brand in today's very crowded marketplace? How do you stand out? Join me on September 27th and share 97 minutes of your time for just $97 and learn how to empower your brand message and shine as a guest on podcasts. iHeart's doing it. Spotify's doing it. You should do it too. Join me and spend 97 minutes of your time for just $97. You can find the registry link in the show notes. Hope to see you there. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Jen Aks. She is an embodiment coach, a speaker, and the founder of the Power of Gesture method. Welcome, Jen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing so great. It's amazing to be here. Thank you.
I am so excited to have you here. I know that we've been trying to get this done for a little while, so it's nice to finally have you here and to be able to jump in and share a little bit about who you are, the beautiful light you put out into the world, and all of the things Jen Aks. I'm excited.
Oh, yes. All of the things Jen Aks. I think I like that. Let's feel that.
There you go. Feel free. It's yours. So with that being said, let us jump right in. I'm curious, how long have you been working as an embodiment coach? And for those who might not know, can you explain what embodiment coaching is and how it differs from other forms of coaching and therapy?
Yeah, absolutely. So to start with, embodiment really is about alignment. I think that's the best way to describe it. And visually, because I'm such a visual person, if you imagine bringing your energy, your values, your emotional state internally, bringing that all into alignment, kind of merging together. So you feel unified, that there's a core, that there's a center, there's a grounding. And the opposite is just kind of when we're all over the place, which is really natural and happens to all of us, right? So it's so essential and important to bring all of those elements into alignment. And that is what embodiment is. And when we become aligned, then our bodies feel calm and grounded, and then we can move from there. In terms of how long have I been doing it, I feel like I've been doing it officially. I've been doing it 5 years.
Okay.
But my entire life, I've been a dancer and performer, choreographer, teaching artist, all the things Jen Aks as a dancer and dance educator.
Right.
So I've been teaching this to be grounded in your body, to live from your truth with children and adults for over 3 decades.
I love it. Now, what inspired you to become an embodiment coach, and how did your journey begin? A lot of the women I speak with, for them, there was a catalyst or a pivotal moment in their lives that led them into the world of coaching. So was there a pivotal moment in your life that pushed you or sent you on that path to decide to get into this particular field of work, helping people transform their lives? And if so, can you share what that was?
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel that my life has been an evolution to get to this official embodiment coach sort of title or practice, right? But my entire life has brought me to this moment. And I would say that the thing that really put me on the path towards movement and embodiment was my struggle as a child. I absolutely struggled in school academically, not because I couldn't do it, which I learned later, because for so many years I felt like I couldn't do it and lived with tremendous and crippling self-doubt. What was really going on for me was that I was a kinesthetic learner, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that I needed to learn visually. I needed to learn with my body. I needed to feel the lessons being presented in school. So I got really lost. And as a result, extremely disembodied and disconnected from my power, my truth, myself. And I went through years of real disconnection to such a detriment. And it was very painful for a long time. Then in my teenage years, I found movement. And movement was absolutely realigning me to all of the things Jen Aks. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to.
No, that's okay. I love it.
I was coming back home to me. I was returning to myself. I didn't realize that then because I was too young until much later when I did the reflection and all of the work. But I was returning. And so movement was the catalyst that helped me get embodied. And then once I didn't actually completely land until I had this sort of pivotal moment, which is my second one. You asked for one. The first was like the disconnection from the insecurities around academics and school. The second one, which really is pivotal, and I'll share briefly, I was in my 20s and I got an invitation to go have dinner with John F. Kennedy Jr.
Wow.
And his wife, Caroline. And and it was an intimate thing. It wasn't like this big dinner with like many people. It was me, my boyfriend at the time, and the two of us. It was going to be the four of us at a dinner. Because my ex-boyfriend because my ex-boyfriend was really good friends with him. Anyhow, the craziest thing happened to me when my ex-boyfriend had said, we're going to go to dinner with JFK Jr. and Caroline. My entire body froze. I got completely numb. My head got hot and I just was overwhelmed with total self-doubt and this feeling that I wasn't going to be able to bring anything because of my education. For some reason, I was like, what am I going to talk about? I don't know the history of this. I didn't read this book. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was irrational because I was disembodied.
Right.
And so I denied the invitation.
Wow.
I did not go. Okay. But that night, well, not even that night, later, very quickly after, my safe place was the shower. I love the shower. So I was like curled up in a little ball on the floor of this shower, just crying and in such disbelief that I have allowed society to define me this much that I denied this once in a lifetime invitation. And that was my turning point when I was like,
no more of this shit.
No more of this shit. You got to get aligned, girl. You got to get embodied. You got to get your power back. Let's go. So,
get your shit together,
get your
girl.
Shit together. This is not okay. You said no to JFK Jr.
That's
ridiculous.
Crazy.
I know. So that was, and then so movement, and I learned about kinesthetic intelligence through Howard Gardner, and then I wound up teaching children curriculum through an artistic lens, through poetry, movement, dance, which was what I needed when I was a child. And for 18 years, I threw myself into this work because it was the answer I needed and I wanted to empower others. Pandemic happens and I start this business of embodiment coaching and really helping people get aligned because the world can really influence who you are and it shouldn't be that way. So,
absolutely.
Anyhow.
I think it's incredible that you do the work to help kids because you didn't have it. And that's exactly what you need. I think that's a beautiful gift that you're giving kids to be able to do that so that they don't go through similar things in their lives. Which
exactly.
Is
and then also on the flip, helping adults return home to themselves. So it's on both sides. You can start at the early journey to say, here's a path, here's a process, here's a methodology that can help you remain connected. And on the adult side, it's let's return home. I did it. You can do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
How have these experiences helped shape the Jen you are today, both personally and professionally, do you think?
Oh my gosh, in every single way. I have the deepest compassion for every single human that I work with because I've been there. I may not have experienced exactly their life story, but I can relate so deeply. And so I think this work, I know this work because it comes from my soul, and creating this methodology, the power of gesture, has really helped me even now with some of the biggest decisions that I've had to make in my life, and just staying aligned and staying true and allowing myself to navigate. I'm just my whole soul is involved because it really has come from that place.
And that's really, I mean, a big part of what it comes down to as a coach is relatability. You want to be able to relate to your clients and for your clients to be able to relate to you. So if you've been through, like you said, you may not have been through their exact experience, but you do have an idea because you've been through things that they can relate to, which is so important.
Yeah.
You're not just reading your shit from a book and saying, well, this is what I read about and I can help you with this because I read this. No, I've been through the shit. I've been in the trenches and dealt with it. So I am your girl to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so beautiful, at least from my experience, to have birthed something out of your experience because of that exact reason. And when you have that connection and that passion and that care, I think it makes a big difference.
For sure. And it comes through to your clients. Your clients can see it and feel it, which is important that they feel that too.
Yeah.
So what was the biggest or most valuable takeaway or lesson from those experiences, would you say, for you?
The biggest lesson for me was how important it is to stay aligned. Like, I've been on both sides of the spectrum. And so being so disconnected and so disembodied, and the discomfort around that and the pain that came with that was a huge learning for me, because now I'm on the other side. And so it's so much better over here. So I want to bring everybody to my party on this over here. So the lesson of the awareness, I think, is really huge for me. Just having that awareness and having that understanding of other people. So that the lesson of awareness, I think, is absolutely huge for me.
And so how has your personal journey then shaped your approach to this work?
My personal journey, and like I said, the level of compassion that I bring to my clients, I'm so insanely committed to their journey. How do I bring based on my experience? Well, I think I probably work too much, but for me, it's not even work. It's vision, it's mission, it's passion, it's soul. It feels like it's a part of me. Mm-hmm. So it really has shaped my life. I mean, this is what I do all the time. Yeah. I'm working, I'm creating, I'm connecting, and I'm always thinking about how I can serve even more.
And that fact that what you do doesn't feel like work is a sign that you're doing what you're meant to do and what you're here to do. It's an incredible feeling.
It is such an incredible feeling.
But on the flip side of that, because you always hear entrepreneurs talk about the importance of boundaries, and there should be times where that's it, I'm done working. Mm-hmm. But it's hard to get into that, I find too, because when you're doing what you love, the time slips by so fucking fast. It's like you don't even notice. And then the next thing you know, you've worked 12, 14, 15 hours. It's like, holy shit, where did the day go? It doesn't feel like work. Absolutely. So how do you set those boundaries, or do you set those boundaries for yourself?
Yeah, it's such a good question. And I agree. I think it's very personal and individual. And I think everyone's got a different flow. Mm-hmm. So there's no right or wrong. But for me, I absolutely have entered a state of my life where meditation has become just essential, especially in the last few years. So every day I meditate. Mm-hmm. And that sets my day. And I meditate throughout the day. I'll be working. So meditation is one, a specific time for that. But I will say I have learned so well, to listen to my body, so that the way I create boundaries as well is I really listen. And if my body is feeling uncomfortable or is basically saying, get up, stand up, go for a walk, I listen. I don't ignore my body's signals. And I think that's really important. And then fun is really important to me. Joy, fun, going out dancing, being with friends, doing these things. So that, because I enjoy that so much, I do make it a priority as well. But it's hard to break away. There's no doubt that it's hard. And I think scheduling time away, it's like the reverse. A lot of people have to schedule in their tasks for work. I don't really have to do that. I have to schedule in the fun, the step away.
For sure.
I think we all do. You probably have to do that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, you do. I mean, when I start to feel okay, I got to step away. Like you said, I've got to step away. I've got to just
Yes.
take a break, go out
Yep.
for a walk, just get out. You don't have to go on an hour-long walk if you want to, great. But you can
Right.
just go get out into the fresh air for 10, 15 minutes just to clear your head and then
Yes.
come back to it. It also helps with, I think, stagnant when you're there at the computer and you're working and you hit a block. So get up, walk away.
Yeah.
And then come back to it with a fresh mind, fresh eyes, and sit down and go at it again. But you're right, scheduling in fun. You're right, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's important.
I think what you said though, like when you start to feel a certain thing, you get up and go do something. And I think that's really important. And that is what I speak on. That is what my upcoming book is about. It's about listening to the body, and your body will tell you if you really are connected, which requires like being embodied.
Yeah.
And when you are embodied, you are connected to those signals that your body is saying, get up, take that walk, jump around, come back, whatever, go get something to eat.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important, embodiment.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Jen, what drives and motivates you and inspires you to keep going and excelling at all that you do?
Oh my gosh, so many things. Well, I think my children, for sure, because like I said, I am writing this book and they're a huge inspiration to me. I want them to have this book. I want them to see an example of what it means to live embodied. And so they certainly inspire me in these ways. They really keep me going because I really want them to see so much of what I'm doing because I know it can apply to them. And then my clients that I work with some of them are really disembodied and it's a real spectrum. And I just want to help. I want to serve. And I feel it every day when I do this meditation. I really do feel that it is my calling. It is my purpose. And so that really keeps me going because I continue to get messages that show me that I'm on the path. Like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. So that's very motivating. And I love it. I care so deeply about this work. So that in and of itself. And then it's super creative. I'm an artist at heart. I'm a dancer, a choreographer. And we didn't talk about the videos that I do, but I create these videos for sort of like mini documentaries for people to capture their life and stories of resilience and so forth. It's very artistic and creative. And I just get into the zone with like music and celebration of a story, a human story. And and I love it. So there's a lot of reasons why I do what I do and why I keep going.
What are some common misconceptions about embodiment work and how do you address them with your clients?
I think people don't understand what it is.
Okay.
Right. Not everybody. I think there are some people that don't understand what it is and they don't understand the power of it. And so for me, the way I talk to my clients and just in general, I really feel we all deserve to live an empowered life, like a really empowered, grounded life filled with passion and purpose and quality. But in my opinion, we can't really live an empowered life until we are embodied. When we are embodied and aligned, then we can feel empowered. Then we can really live elevated is kind of my 3 E's. And it's really the journey of the work that I do. And so I think like a lot of people may not understand that connection. They just want to live elevated. And my thing is we got to get embodied first. Oh, you're embodied? Okay, let's be in that empowered zone because now we can really cultivate this. And then, so I think people may jump around a little bit and not realize the direct connection to embodiment and how it contributes to living your full life. So there's an educational curve that needs to be expressed, which is my passion. So I don't mind and I love it. But I think that's one of the obstacles that I face. And it just requires some explanation. Yeah.
What are some daily practices or rituals besides meditation that you recommend for someone looking to cultivate a deeper sense of embodiment?
Well, the method that I created called the power of gesture. I created it. I love it. It works. I've been doing this methodology, like actual, like trademarked and going for it and all of that for the last 3.5 years. And I've worked with hundreds of people at this point. So I know it works and it's beautiful. And it's really simple and accessible. That's why I love it so much. It is so accessible. People can do it anywhere. And at the core of it, it's using your hands, the power of your hands, right? Gesture, and allowing your hands to embody the emotions that are living inside of your soul, whether it's fear, angst, worry, happiness, joy, empowerment, freedom, desire, whatever the emotion is, we use our hands to embody and create this tangible expression that we then can use and move. So all of a sudden, we're gaining more control of our emotions than we actually think we have. So I think that's part of the issue that I run into with my clients is that they are overtaken by the fear, by the doubt. And I get it because I lived that. The power of gesture allows you to get some agency, get some power over these emotions, not to say, let's throw you out, but to really understand what it is, why it's happening, and how we can lower the volume of whatever's holding someone back. So my recommendation would be the power of gesture.
That's the key. I love that you said that, lower the volume, because it's a matter of, I went through a huge bout of comparison and imposter syndrome when I first jumped into entrepreneurship and started my photography business. I was always in my head about I should be further along. Look at these people. And it took over 2 years for me to get that reined in and learn how to turn the volume down moving forward. Because we have come through, for me, for example, the comparison and the imposter syndrome and got on the other side of it, does not mean that shit still doesn't creep in from time to time. Of course it does. Yeah. But it's, as you said, it's having the self-awareness to realize when it's coming back in. Secondly, having the ability to turn the volume down quicker so that you can move through it faster and it doesn't stay stuck within you for as long because you've learned how to turn the volume down. So I love that you shared that. That's very important.
Thank you. And I so appreciate that. And something you said, I want to just mention around that we're not trying to completely get rid of it. The thing is, that's where a lot of people, I wish I didn't have this. Let's get rid of it. But really lowering the volume and knowing that part, it's just a part. It's not all of you. It's a part of you. It's basically taking a nap, so to speak. Like this little voice or this little feeling is just taking us a nap and it will get activated. So to learn how to manage the emotions as opposed to trying to get rid of them. And I think that's very freeing for people when they hear that. Oh, right. Okay. I don't have to get rid of it. I just need to learn how to lower the volume. And how do I do that? And you do that by being curious about it. Asking it, actually having a conversation. And through the power of gesture, what's really interesting is you can embody multiple feelings at the same time. So if we're embodying fear and we're embodying joy, these two can sort of dance together. They can really communicate together and help each other out so that in times of high stress or high angst, those other parts can come in. Yeah. That's really it. I mean, I actually started doing research a few years ago because the power of gesture really birthed out of my soul. It was just from me. And then I came to find out that there's actually a lot of studies and research behind the hands, the power of the hands, and then IFS, internal family systems. Richard Schwartz, I don't know if you're familiar with his work, but he really does he has a whole body of work around the parts of who we are. And it's very much in alignment with what I'm doing and what I'm trying to express to my clients. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, how do you integrate other modalities or disciplines such as yoga, and you've mentioned dance, mindfulness, into your embodiment coaching sessions? How does that work for you?
Well, it's interesting you're asking that because IFS is a big one for me because our philosophies are so aligned. So I bring this work in and I educate a little bit about IFS because it really feels, it's not complete. It's not obviously the same thing, but there's a lot of synergy there. So I bring that in. I also bring in meditation. It's my stuff with the power of gesture is really like a moving meditation.
Okay.
We don't need, the reason it's so accessible too is I work with a lot of people that are not comfortable getting up and dancing. And it's not about dance at all. It's about emotional awareness, but we use our hands to help the emotions move through. So it is graceful. It is fluid. And so calling in a moving meditation is really beautiful. It's a beautiful blend of going inward, going into that meditative state, but then also being active with your body using your hands. So it's a blend of both. So I would say meditation. I use a lot of visualization when we're at the beginning of most of my sessions. We'll kind of go inward and connect with, try and get aligned and aware of what's going on inside of our bodies, which is more of that meditative state. The visualization comes in when we're really scanning our body to really see what feels stuck, what needs to be moved, what needs to be lifted or understood. And so the visualization piece is huge. And those are the parts, I would say. Those are some of the modalities that I bring in.
Love it. Beautiful.
Yeah. And music, by the way, music is a big one.
Yeah,
music is always a part of my stuff. I'm a huge music fan, and it's music is really a gateway to the soul, in my opinion. And most of my music doesn't have any lyrics because I leave it instrumental so that the person is not being guided by a story inside of a song.
Yeah.
Instead, really allowing their body to speak, but using the music and the melody as a way to really connect even deeper.
Beautiful. Now, as we know, of course, body image is all tied in as well. It's a huge topic. So I'm curious, how do you address and work with body image issues and insecurities in your clients?
Yeah, that's a big one. I come across this quite a bit. And I would say that this practice is so empowering for people, let's just say, with body awareness and the limitations that they have based on that. And this practice really gets them to move a part of their body. And in my experience, I find that over the course of several sessions, they're feeling more connected to their body. They're allowing more of their arms to get involved. You'd be surprised, just lifting your hands up can be a really big deal for somebody.
Yeah.
So the fact that the practice is so accessible and just starts with your hands, when you have that sort of discomfort in your body, knowing that you don't have to use anything else except your hands, that's a really beautiful way to get started in terms of movement. And then in terms of just overall insecurity, it's the same as any other issue. If someone's insecure about their intelligence, or someone is going through something pretty significant in their life, or trying to overcome some kind of addiction, it's all about the awareness, going inward, really looking at where this stems from and getting curious, and then celebrating what comes up. My practice is really, this is sort of off topic of the body image thing, but I'm just saying that this practice is not just about healing our wounds and insecurities. It's really about celebrating where we are right now. Celebration is a really big deal. So whether your body doesn't feel right or your mind doesn't feel right, it's all the same intention. I get people aligned, embodied, and feeling empowered so that they can live from whatever place they're coming from. Yeah.
We don't tend to celebrate as human beings. We tend to, I think, just from one thing right into the next. We don't take the time to slow down and look at what we've accomplished, or look at what we've been through and celebrate that. And that's something that we all could learn to do much, much better. And when you learn to do that, the people around you also, that's a permission slip for them to say, hey, Jen's celebrating, so I'm going to celebrate my wins too, right?
Yes.
It perpetuates. It's that ripple effect. And we need to do that.
I could not agree more. It is such an essential part of my work. I can't tell you how many times people say, the modality, it's so healing, it's so healing, it's so healing. I love that. And I agree. And I always say, and it's celebratory. And we are going to celebrate where you are, as small as it seems to you. It's actually really big. Just even showing up here. And I'm passionate and I care so much. So we get that celebration, whether it's with music. I'll do whatever I need to do to get that person to feel like they've done something really great in that moment, in that session, in that year, in their lifetime. There's so much celebration to be had.
I love it. Now, through the body image, of course, this leads right into self-love and the importance of self-love. So can you discuss the connection between embodiment and self-love and how one can foster both through your coaching?
Yeah, self-love. I mean, I think that when we are disembodied, we are disconnected from who we are, the love that we are, the energy that we are, all the things that we are. When we are disconnected and doubtful and questioning. So self-love is directly connected to the work, because the more we can bring these things into alignment, the more we can recognize the successes that we have had, the more we can remember that when we were born pure, innocent, joyful, that soul is still in us. It's who we are. So that's everything. Self-love is the goal. We want to get into alignment and remember who we are so that we can really start to love ourselves. It's so incredibly important. And this work is so important because when we get aligned, when we get embodied, we start to feel our power and we start to break free from societal conditioning, norms, parental pressures, peer pressures. We go in. We start to rely on the body's wisdom, the body's guidance, the intelligence inside. And when we can do that and live from that self-love place, we can do anything. Yeah. The issue is that so much about it is external, which I totally get because I am a victim of that myself. And we all are. And I played a huge role in that. And that's a huge thing too, is to really have that awareness. What is your role in this disembodiment? I had to look really deep within, and I encourage and do that in my coaching. So when we create, again, that awareness and we become aligned, that's the goal. Then we can live from that self-love place. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I think it's important to mention too, the acceptance of our part in that too, which is huge for sure. Mm-hmm. Now, how do you see the relationship between embodiment and spirituality, and how do you incorporate that aspect into your coaching?
Yeah, that's such a good question. So I feel like I've always been connected to something bigger than me for most of my life. I just didn't know what that was until really the last 4 years. And it's become such an important part of me as a person, just without work and me within my work. It's all around me all the time. And it's been so impactful. So I don't preach spirituality in any kind of way that would make somebody uncomfortable, but I offer a lot of different resources. And when someone wants that kind of information, I will give it to them. I will give them meditations. I'm creating a bunch of meditations myself. I already have. It's incredibly important, spirituality and embodiment. They are completely interconnected because it's the energy within that is our guide. And we have to get re-embodied to get to know that energy. It is bigger than just us. It's a soul, in my opinion. Yeah. You know, it's a soul. It is this invisible intelligence that is connected to something greater. And when we can realize that actually this energy is our guiding light, then we can realize this energy is a part of something bigger. So we're actually in co-creation and not alone. And so that is very empowering and feels really supportive in and of itself. So I absolutely bring that into my coaching, the level of awareness and offerings around that, because when we have that comfort and that safety and that knowing, then we also start to really listen to our bodies. We have to get to know that soul inside of ourselves. And when we do, we start to trust it. And when we trust it, we're guided authentically and truthfully, as opposed to allowing these external influences to come in. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's all been conditioned out of us. We, as you said, we are born pure love and joy. And we have all of these abilities within us. We have the intuition, all of these things. But as we grow older, parental conditioning, societal conditioning, religious condition, all of these things, it doesn't, sorry, I shouldn't say it gets conditioned out of us, because I think it just gets tamped down so far down that we forget sometimes that it's even there. So it's a matter of coming back to home and getting back in touch with that and nurturing that and bringing it back out and bringing it back to the surface so that we can access it, because we all have it.
We all have it. We're all really connected through this energy.
We are one.
We are one. And if people, I know it's hard for people to wrap their head around it, but when you have lived it and when you have allowed this power to influence your life and guide you, and you have experienced moving from one side to another, which is much better over here, then you can speak from that experience.
Yeah.
And either people want to listen and trust or they don't.
Yeah. And that's okay too.
And that's okay too. I get it. It's just another opportunity and another resource. And so the more awareness there is and the more people can trust and try, the better.
Absolutely. What challenges do you encounter when working with clients who are disconnected from their bodies, and how do you overcome those?
Like I said earlier, I think it has so much to do with education. Just a lack of awareness, which is not a bad thing. It's just, okay, let's now create some awareness.
Let's educate you.
Let's educate. And once that door is open, so much happens, because there's so much out there. There's a million books. There's so many podcasts. There's so many resources and literature and videos and movies. And then all of a sudden people are like, oh, like light bulbs go off. So I think one of the biggest challenges is just the lack of awareness. And so once we create that and open the door, so much opportunity happens.
Yeah. How do you stay grounded and embodied when those things do come up for you? Facing challenges, stress, all of the things. What are aside from meditation, we know you meditate, what are some of the other things you implement to help you get through those times?
Yeah, I love to write. So I read a lot of poetry. So that's really releasing for me. And mostly I'd say I have to move my body. I love to dance. I put on great music and I just get up and I just do my thing. The movement for me is essential, whether I take a walk or a run or dance. That's big. And I really encourage people to do that on whatever level.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be some professional dancer. You just move your body the way you
get up and move, people.
Yeah. Yeah. But getting up. And then I love being on my mat. I love just being on my mat and being quiet and stretching and putting on beautiful music and just giving myself that opportunity.
Yeah. But again, it's the self-awareness to realize when that shit's coming up, that you need to take the time out to ground and do the things.
That's right.
Can you share some insights on the connection between embodiment and mental health, particularly managing stress and anxiety?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the embodiment, when you have that tool, when you have that awareness, then you can start to manage your stress. You can start to manage the angst. And I work a lot with teenagers and in the dance world. For the teenage piece, I work a lot in the dance community. Okay. And I go into teenage dance environments like companies and studios and things like that. So I'm sitting in a circle of 20, 18-year-olds, and all of which are very much affected by social media, very caught up with societal conditioning, the pressures. I mean, it's high angst. We know this, right? Ever since the pandemic, especially. And giving them the tool of embodiment, the awareness of bringing them back home to themselves, to educate them that they have control, that they have much more control than they think. The tool of the power of gesture, because that's just all I do, really grounds them, can really ground them in their truth, and giving them this sort of, they always walk away with one or two gestures that becomes like their moving mantra. I always say this is like your meditative mantra, right? And it's movement based. So when you're in school and you're feeling totally anxious because of something that happened, go to the restroom, shut the door in one of the stalls, and do your whatever it is they created in our session. And it's 2 seconds. It's 2 gestures. They repeat it a few times. They do it slowly. They know what to do. And it really, from what I've heard, a lot of them, they will say it has really helped me, like, ground in, relax my mind, relax the energy, and reconnect me, and to start over and move forward. So that's a tool it's the tool that I teach to help people with angst or any kind of mental health or distress. Seems to really help regulate their bodies.
So when did you come up with the idea for the power of gesture, and what was the inspiration behind that?
That is such a good question. I love this question because it's kind of crazy, but I will try to make it brief. So when the pandemic hit, I had this just surge of energy, just like this thing that was like, start calling your friends and people that you know and get on Zoom and start helping them move the energy through their body. I was like, it wasn't like that actual like verbatim language, but like my body knew I needed to start doing this. So I started meeting with people on Zoom and then asking that, because we were in a square and we were not standing up. I didn't want to stand up. I wanted to be in the square and stay connected to the eyes. I really wanted to see them as close as possible. All we could really use was the hands, right? So it was just like, oh, okay, let's look at fear. Let's look at angst. Let's create some hand gestures that represent the emotions that you're having around this isolation and all of these things that we're all experiencing. And I realized that connecting these gestures and then putting on music, because everything from my dance background, that's why I said when we first started talking, everything from my life has sort of just been this evolution, right? So because I love to move and I know the power of music and all of that, I put on some music and had them do their gestures to music. I mean, who's having their hands dance? I was like, this is kind of crazy, but it worked. It was just the feedback I was getting was, this is so beautiful. It's so powerful. It's so simple. It's so accessible. I was like, wow, there's so much power in gesture. I just kept saying that for a year. There's so much power in gesture. There's so much power in gesture. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, that's the method. This is a method, the power of gesture. This is the practice. And I started really just like writing it all down, like how I was taking people through this experience. And really what confirmed everything was through these videos that I started doing. So because I'm also an editor during the pandemic and I was meeting people online and doing this, I'm an artist at heart, and watching people use their hands in this square and like these beautiful gestures, I was like, this is art. So I took the Zoom footage and I started editing it and creating these like beautiful, in my opinion, pieces of art. And then I started laying in like our conversation. Oh, I'm going to have their hands as one layer. And then I'm going to have the conversation edited down to 3 to 5 minutes from a 2-hour conversation. That was a feat. I didn't sleep for a year and a half because I did about 100 of these during the pandemic, before things started opening up. And then I added music. So I added all these beautiful layers, and the hands were just such a prominent and big part of this whole thing. So that confirmed the power of gesture, because it became this embodied form of storytelling, using your hands to help you process and express yourself and your stories. So that was another confirmation. And these videos have been used in so many different ways, online galleries that I started to create, because I was like, you know what? No one can go to the MoMA. So I'm just going to create an online gallery. So I started featuring these stories, and people would come because no one was leaving their homes. And that's a whole other thing. But that's how the power of gesture really came to be.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. Powerful. So powerful. I love it. I've seen some of your videos that you've edited together, and I think they're wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just glad that these people can... sorry to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
It was a healing for them to actually watch themselves. We're so conditioned to watch others, witness others, give other people feedback. It's rare we have the opportunity to witness ourselves, and then witness ourselves in this form as well is super empowering. So like that healing, and then the celebration.
Yeah.
that celebration of life really is also what locked in. That is a main ingredient of my work, because these women, and I actually did 2 men, and I'm starting to do more men stories as well, but it became celebratory. These online galleries, people were celebrating the resilience and the power behind what these women have done and did. And I was like, okay, celebration is essential.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
For sure.
what were you going to say?
Did you not turn this into in person as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I do a lot of workshops in person, a lot of speaking engagements now, but very interactive, because I'm always doing the power of gesture. So whether it's a small group or a larger group, I bring in and have everybody do embodiment. But again, they don't have to stand up. They don't have to move around. They can stay right in their seat, and they're using their hands and watching an entire group. The largest group I've done at this point is 150, and watching all of these people do the same gesture, because we'd create this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole process. It was like, it's overwhelming. It was like, oh my God, you just want to cry. It's so beautiful to watch them all embody emotion in this way.
For sure.
Anyhow, yeah. Yeah. So in person for sure, and virtual.
Beautiful. Yeah. What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful, Jen?
I mean, I really think that my level of empathy it's so clear to me that I connect to so many types of people. I can really be with anybody in a room. Yeah. If someone is willing to be vulnerable and be real and be honest, like, I am all about it. And so I hold space really well. There's a lot of things that I'm working on, but I can hold space for others in a really deep way because I care so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of success, how do you define that word? What does success mean to you?
Yeah, that's a great question, because my entire life, well, not my entire life, until the JFK moment, and then I shifted.
We'll call it the JFK moment.
Yeah, the JFK moment. Yeah. Actually, I was just thinking, in my book, I write about it, obviously, and I say, I like the subtitle of that area is like, what JFK Jr. taught me. Anyhow, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, success. Yeah. So up to that moment, I thought success was really good scores on your SATs, going to a great college, having a vocabulary like nobody's business, making a lot of money, like these things, because that's all external conditioning. And that's what really affected me. Now it is the complete opposite. It is success to me is living your truth. That is success, because I believe the wealth comes when you're truthful, when you are grounded, when you are living your purpose. The wealth of friendship, the wealth of love, the wealth of money, the wealth of living, all of it comes. I truly believe that you cannot, well, you can, but I think it's important when we become embodied, then we can be super successful.
Yeah.
Even more successful than someone currently is. So success to me is really being connected to your truth and living from that place.
What would you say is one of the most important things you've learned in your life? And what was your life like before you learned it? And what was your life like after learning it?
Well, I mean, it's very clear to me before we can go pre-JFK, post-JFK. Okay. So we can actually do that. Pre-JFK, I was great. I loved my life. I had friends. I was dancing that, but internally I had insane self-doubt, and I did not love living like that. And then post JFK, I have become embodied, connected, empowered, curious, and all the beautiful things, all the things Jen Aks. So that's kind of like my BCAC. I don't even know, what is that before, right?
EJFK, AJFK.
Yeah, exactly. It's very clear. That's sort of
the marker.
That's the marker. Yeah. Big time.
What is an unexpected blessing or occurrence in your life that you're grateful for?
I would say the pandemic really was tragic, unexpected, devastating in so many ways. And for me, it was all of that, right? And it was a moment and an opportunity to really find myself on the next level.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot since the pandemic, and had to enter a chapter of my life that was really difficult. I left my 20-year marriage. I have 2 children, beautiful children. I had a really successful marriage. We just needed to go our separate ways. I also birthed this business. I'm writing this book. There's so much that happened, so much innovation and creativity and wonder. And so my soul has really come alive in a new way. And so I think that was a really incredible, very profound time that was unexpected, and all the hard things and also all the beautiful things, because it awakened my soul that was so necessary and has put me on a new path, which is not easy, by the way. But it's very important, and it's what I needed to do. And in this lifetime, in this body, I need to be honest. Like I said, being honest is hard, but it's where you can really have true success for yourself in all of the ways. When your relationships go deeper, with my relationships with all of the people in my life, from friends to my kids to my family, everyone, it's deeper because I am living my truth. And it brings up a lot, and it's scary, but it's so important. Yeah.
I think that was a huge awakening moment for a lot of fucking people around the world.
Yeah.
A lot of people started waking up and realizing that we don't have to do things the way we've been doing them for so many years. They realized, wait a minute, I hate my fucking job. I don't want to do this anymore. So many things shifted. It was necessary. As you said, I mean, there was a ton of loss, financial, personal, life loss, and that's all fucking horrible. But I think that when we look back at those 3 years, I think that there was more good that came out of it than bad. And that's not to discount all the bad shit that happened to people. I lost my grandmother during COVID, so there was loss, but I think we have to look at it as pulling the silver linings out of it, because there was a lot of good that did come out of it. A lot of changes, which were needed.
Yes, I agree. The only hesitation I have is when I just think about all of the people that we lost.
Yes.
And I'm sure like you and anyone that's listening, there's direct connection to people that I know that really lost and people that I lost. So it's so hard for me, and I'm sure so many, to say that there was a lot of good that came out of the pandemic, because my mind goes right to all of the people. And I think about all of those hospitals, and I was in this city, and I went from the outside trying to support, looking at all of those. I have so many visuals of people in the hospitals and the nurses and the doctors coming in and out, and just all the things when it comes to that. But you're right. Like, there is so much that did come out of it. So many businesses, so many awakenings. And I'm both of those things. My business, my personal life. There's a million things. So it's hard. We're talking about life and people, but I do agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say, Jen, is one of your biggest failures or teachable moments, and what did you learn from it?
One of my biggest failures. There's so many bumps in the road along the way. I never, at least now, I mean, I may have when I was younger, but it's been a long time. I don't ever really look at anything as a failure. I just really don't. People do. They're like, come on, that was a failure. And I'm like, I really don't feel like it was. I feel like there's a lesson in everything. And that might sound cheesy, but that is how I feel.
Yep.
But it's funny because people are definitely like, Jen, come on, let's be real. That was a failure. And I'm like, I don't think that it was. Like, I think there's a lesson there. I really do. So for me, but when I look at my life, and there's definitely bumps and conversations that I've had that, or maybe I spoke out too quickly. You know, sometimes a big lesson that I've learned for myself is because I'm passionate and I want to be understood the right way. When I'm misunderstood, it's so hurtful. And so sometimes I will react because I'm feeling misunderstood and I want to correct what's happening in front of me. But what I've learned is to pause. I've learned to just pause and slow down and really think. And the spiritual aspects of that have really come in and have helped me with that, because there's other ways to look at things. There's a lot of perspectives, and leading with love to me is so important, especially now. And it's, if I can really just pause and sort of disconnect from the situation, I can really see the other person's perspective and then maybe come at it from that place. So I think in the past, I have acted too quickly on my responses, and I have learned to pause and slow down.
The power of the pause.
The power of the pause. Isn't that something?
Yeah, it is.
It's like a big, I don't know what it is,
it
but
is.
I know
When
that
you're
it's
speaking,
something.
when you're speaking, it's that the power that pausing during your talk holds to bring the audience along with you. Yeah. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
I mean, I feel like I'm being repetitive in what I say, but empowerment starts with embodiment. And when we're embodied and we are aligned, we can live empowered. We can live our truth. We can live aligned. We can live with focus and clarity and a sense of grounding and a sense of purpose. Living empowered really, to me, is that act of being just so truthful, so raw, so real, so uninhibited, so ready. And I'm not saying that I don't have any of those things, because listen, I get afraid. I get all the things, right? I'm working on it all the time too. Yeah. But I know the difference. I know the feeling of not feeling empowered and feeling empowered. And there's nothing better than truly feeling empowered. And it all stems from living your truth, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section. So the next group of questions just be 2, 3, 4 word answer type thing.
Okay.
You got this, Jen. If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what song would it be?
Oh my gosh. Okay, right away. I have 2, but I have to pick one, right? What's coming to me, you're going to laugh. Get ready. It's Justin Bieber. Never say never. Never say never. Because I just feel all the lyrics too. I love that song so much. It was really kind of got me through some hard times.
What's one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
One thing I want but cannot buy with money. Oh my gosh, it's a really good. Just deepening my spirituality, deepening my spiritual practice.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Embodying the power of embodiment.
How would you describe yourself in one word?
Passionate.
What is one thing you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
The empathy, the level of empathy that I have.
What is your favorite self-care practice?
Dance.
That concludes our rapid fire section. See, you did amazing.
Woo!
Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Bonus question here that I threw in that I did not send ahead of time. If other people could use 3 words to describe you, what would you want those 3 words to be?
Honest, committed, and passionate.
Beautiful. If you could step into my shoes, what question would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
What quote, is there a quote that you live by or resonate with that has really sort of defined or guided your life in any way?
Okay, go ahead and answer your question.
Okay. Well, there's 2, but the first one that comes to my mind is Marianne Williamson. And I won't go into the whole thing, but she starts her paragraph with, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. And then it goes on. And when I first read this quote, I was like, oh my God. It's one of those moments, we've kind of all had them at different times, where I was like, that is true. Like, my deepest fear is not that I'm inadequate. I am powerful beyond measure. And when I've had a couple times in my life, people say, you're too happy, or like, you're too, like,
you're too much.
Like, you're too much. I can't be around you. I've actually had that like twice in my life, and it really kind of fucked me up.
Well, I guess so.
And I got smaller.
Yeah.
because of it. And that's not okay.
No.
That's not okay. So we all have so much power within us. And that's what we can't be afraid to live our passion. And
Fuck
so
yeah.
Fuck yeah. So I'm really committed to that.
I love it. What is your why, Jen?
I mean, my why is everything we just talked about. My why is simply that I know what it feels like to be disembodied and disconnected and disempowered. And I know what it feels like not to be. And that is where I live. And that is where I want to invite everybody into my house.
This side.
Drop the mic. Yeah, this side. Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
It would probably be Maya Angelou. I think I've studied a lot about her in my work with children as well, and just empowering them with her example of her commitment to equality and her energy of calm and peace and beauty and union. She represented all the things that I feel so aligned with. And she actually had a quote. That was my second quote that I loved about, she talks about how people will never forget what you said. People will, or what you did, they'll remember how you feel. People will never forget how you made them feel. Yeah. And that is just the core of the work that I do. It's all about feeling and emotion. It's not about what you say. That doesn't even, it's about how you feel and how you show up. And so it would be her, and that's why.
Beautiful. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
I think I would say, let's go inside of yourself. I would guide myself home because I started that disconnection so young. So returning home with questions of, why do you feel that way? What is your role in this? Instead of, I was left to I had great parents and a great mother. I mean, she's like my hero, but that self-reflection wasn't a big part of that generation. So they didn't really teach that then. And I think I would teach my younger self how to really self-reflect early and rely on the inside wisdom more. I would teach those tools and give advice. All my advice would be around that. Okay. Deepening that awareness. Yeah.
Lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your tribe, your people, your corner of the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
That's a great question. I think at this moment, I would actually use at the end, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. And I would add, liberate your fear, step into your light, and that will be the absolute greatest service you could do for yourself and for the world.
Beautiful. Wonderful way to end the interview. Jen, thank you so much. It has been such an honor and a pleasure having the opportunity to sit down and chat with you. I've enjoyed every moment of our conversation. You are a truly inspiring woman, and I just appreciate you taking and making the time to be here with me today to share a little bit about your story, your journey, and the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Really appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Jen Aks. She is an embodiment coach, a speaker, and the founder of the Power of Gesture method. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you for sharing all the things Jen Aks. I appreciate you.
All the things Jen Aks.
Have an awesome day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at viseuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.